All right, let's talk about one of the biggest changes hitting education right now, generative AI. There's a lot of noise out there, I know, but today we're going to cut right through it. We're going to give you a single, powerful framework to turn AI from something maybe a little intimidating into what could be your most effective new teaching assistant. So here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about how to think about AI as your new assistant. Then we'll get into the most important skill you need to master it, the art of the prompt. After that, we'll unpack the Create framework piece by piece. Then we'll see it in action in the classroom, and we'll wrap up with some absolutely essential ethical guidelines.
Okay, let's just dive right in. I mean, we all see the potential here, right? For lesson plans, for personalizing learning, it's huge. But to really use it well, we have to start by tackling the one big concern that I think holds a lot of us back. And it's this question right here. Can we actually trust what these things tell us? It's the first question we have to ask. And, the honest answer is, well, not always. There's actually a term for this. It's called an AI hallucination. It's when an AI, in its effort to give you an answer, just makes stuff up. It can sound totally convincing, but it's completely fabricated. This is why the number one rule of working with AI is this. You are the expert in the room. Always, always verify the information it gives you.
So how do we get around that risk and get to all the good stuff? Well, it all boils down to how we talk to these tools. It's pretty simple, really. The quality of what you get out is directly tied to the quality of what you put in.
This skill has a name. It's called prompt engineering. But don't let the fancy term fool you. Think of it like this. You're just learning how to give really good, clear instructions. It's not about code. It's about communication. It's about being specific enough to get exactly what you need, whether that's a lesson plan, a worksheet, or even an email. And, before we learn how to talk to an AI, it helps to know who's on the other end of the line. The big three right now, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot, they each have their own quirks and strengths. Some are more logical, some have real-time web access. The best thing you can do is just play around with them and see which assistant is the right fit for the job you have in mind.
All right, now we're at the heart of it. To make prompt engineering something you can actually use every day, we're going to use the Create framework. Seriously, think of this as your user manual for getting exactly what you want from AI every single time.
So CREATE is just an acronym. It stands for Character, Request, Examples, Adjustment, Type of Output, and Extra Instructions. It's just 6 simple steps. So let's break down what each one actually means.
First up, C is for character. This is where you literally give the AI a job title. Tell it who it is. You are a historic professor. You are an expert coder. You are a master debate coach. When you assign a character, you're telling the AI which hat to wear, and it'll respond with the right expertise and the right tone. Next, we have R for request. This is the what. What do you actually want it to do? The key here is to be super specific and start with a strong action verb. Don't just say World War I. Say, create an engaging 30-minute lesson plan. See the difference? That clarity is everything. E is for examples, and this is all about context. Who is this for? In this case, a group of 10-year-olds. That little piece of information totally changes the output. It tells the AI to drop the jargon and keep it simple. Providing context is like giving the AI a peek into your classroom. Then we have A for adjustments. This is where you get to be the director. You fine-tune the performance. Do you want the tone to be professional, casual and funny, analytical but still accessible? You can specify all of that, and it makes sure the final product sounds right for you and your students. T is for type of output. Look, nobody wants a giant messy wall of text. So don't let the AI give you one. Tell it exactly how you want the information formatted. Put it in a table. Give me bullet points. Write it as a script. Being explicit about this saves you so much time on the back end. And finally, our second E is for extras. Think of these as little power-ups for your prompt. You can tell it to align its response to a very specific curriculum, like IB or IGCSE. And here's a pro tip I absolutely love. Tell it, ask me questions before you answer. This forces the AI to get more context from you, leading to a way better result. Okay, so that's the theory, that's the framework, but what does this actually look like when you're planning for your classes? Let's run through a few real-world examples that I think every educator is going to recognize. So let's say you need a formative assessment. Instead of just asking for a writing prompt, you use the framework. You give it a character, a proficient English language teacher. You make a specific request, create a formative assessment. And you add that all-important extra, Align it with IGCSE assessment objectives. That is the difference between a generic worksheet and a tool you can actually use tomorrow. And this works for any subject, right? Here, the character is a computer science expert. The request is super specific, 2 15-mark practice questions for a particular exam paper on a specific topic. This is how you go from a general chatbot to a highly specialized assistant that speaks your language and understands your curriculum.
And hey, this isn't just for lesson content. Think about all the admin stuff we have to do. By setting a specific tone, professional and friendly, and adding a few constraints, you can use AI to draft emails and other communications. This can literally give you back hours in your week. Now, this part is just as important as everything we've just covered. We know how to use this incredibly powerful tool, so now we have to talk about how to use it responsibly. Just think of this section as the essential safety manual for your new AI assistant.
It really just comes down to 5 main things. First, protect privacy. That means no sensitive student data, no personal info, ever. Second, always review what it gives you for bias and accuracy. Third, be transparent with students and parents about how you're using AI. Fourth, remember that you are still the one who is accountable for what happens in your classroom. And finally, make sure you're using AI in a way that's fair and equitable for every single one of your students.
And if you're ever on the fence, this little checklist is a great guide. Just ask yourself, am I allowed to use AI for this? Is this actually making things better, not just different? Am I using a solid framework like Create? And am I ready to be open about how I used it? If you can say yes to all of those, you're probably in a really good spot.
Look, at the end of the day, generative AI is just that, a tool. An incredibly powerful one for sure, but still just a tool in your teaching toolbox. It's not here to replace us. It's here to amplify what we can do. The Create framework, well, that's the skill that lets you wield that tool with precision, with creativity, and with responsibility. So now with this new tool in your hands and a roadmap for how to use it, the possibilities are just wide open. So we'll leave you with this one question to think about. What will you choose to build?